Your first 10 customers will not come from a tool, an ad, or some clever automation. They come from you, by hand. Today on Startup Talks, we give you the exact checklist to get those first 10 with a budget of zero. I want to give the impatient people the answer right away before we earn it. Customers 1 through 3 come from your warm network, the friends, former colleagues, people one handshake away.
And there are basically no exceptions to that. The data backs it up, not just a nice story.
Customers 4 through 10 come from unscalable actions, in-person meetings, personal messages in the threads where people are already complaining, small dinners, hyper-personal outreach.
This is the part everyone wants to avoid, by the way. The personal contact with people you barely know.
Exactly. And the tools for outreach, things like Apollo or Clay or email sequences, only start to matter at customer 10 to 20 once you have a pitch you actually know how to scale.
Because by then the pitch has been tested. You said it 10 times, people pushed back, you fixed it each time, and now it is stable and convincing.
Right. So you spend zero money. The only thing a founder has to pour in at this stage is their own time. Let me ground this in what experienced people say. Y Combinator ran a survey of dozens of founders, and there was almost no counterexample to the first part.
Meaning nearly everyone's very first customers came through the warm network.
One founder got intros to roughly half the customers she closed in her batch through second-degree LinkedIn connections. You look at who your friends know, you ask for the intro, and you close half your planned list.
That is wild leverage for something that costs nothing but a few messages.
Then for customers 4 through 10, the unscalable stuff. One founder flew to a single buyer 4 weeks in a row. The buyer kept rescheduling, he kept showing up, and eventually that deal became the start of the whole business.
That is B2B persistence, business selling to business. Most people would have quit after week 2.
Another founder flew to Hawaii, got shown the door after 8 minutes, and that same buyer later became one of his biggest accounts.
So the rejection is not the end of the story. It is sometimes the start of it.
And trade shows just put cold email on the floor. One founder closed more in 3 days at a trade show than in 3 months of cold outreach in his industry.
3 days beat 3 months. That should reset how anyone thinks about where to spend their week.
There are also micro events. Founder dinners of 6 to 10 people convert far better than big conferences because you actually get to talk to everyone and close them.
It is intimate enough that no one can hide, and no one wants to ignore the person who just bought them dinner.
Communities work the same way. One founder pulled his entire first 10 out of Reddit, just sending personal messages to every commenter in threads where people complained about his exact problem.
And those Reddit threads get indexed by Google and live for years, so the work keeps paying off long after you post it.
On the cold outreach itself, the rule people keep citing is to keep your messages under 75 words. Anything longer reads as something an AI wrote.
75 words is basically 3 sentences. It feels like almost nothing, but that is the point.
3 sentences with a clear call to action, then you follow up 3 or 4 times over a couple of weeks. And about 20 minutes of prep before asking for 30 minutes of someone's time is an honest trade.
You are spending your own time to respect theirs. That is the deal.
And the strongest version is Give First Outreach. Lead with a free vulnerability scan, a teardown of their app, a short audit, a little microservice before you ask for anything.
One founder paid lawyers $100 to $200 an hour for feedback on what he was sending. Around 30% of the people he reached out to converted.
And his customer acquisition cost, the total money and time it takes to win one customer, ended up very reasonable. He sent about 3 times the requests, a third converted, and the math worked.
Here is the thing nobody puts on the slide, though. All these methods are free in money, but you pay a price, and the price is stress.
Say more on that.
For people who are good at building, communicating with near strangers is genuinely hard. Stepping out of your comfort zone is the actual cost.
And the uncomfortable truth is, if you did not have that stress, you would already have a product and you would not need this episode.
It is a chicken and egg of personality, which is exactly the argument for a balanced team, a co-founder who can carry the parts that drain you.
So I built a checklist of 6 steps, and the 6th is the payoff. The reason for the structure is that all those anecdotes are fun but scattered, and people who like systems want a concrete plan.
Right. A pile of cool stories about Hawaii and dinners and Reddit is not a plan you can follow on Monday.
Box 1 is the most central question. Where does your potential buyer actually spend their time?
And not the lazy version of that. Not young equals TikTok, older equals LinkedIn.
Concretely, which groups, what they do there. Sit for about an hour and answer it. Does your buyer live in their email? Are they on Reddit? Do they go to conferences? If you call them, do they pick up?
If you cannot answer that concretely, that is the marker. It means you have not talked to enough real people yet.
There is a perfect example here. A founder spent months sending emails while his buyers were on construction sites, not in an inbox and not on LinkedIn.
There is no point hunting for someone in an office channel when they actually work outside all day.
Box 2, work your warm network before you touch any tool. This is even earlier than selling. You have nothing to send yet.
Your first circle, the people who already know you, and then the second degree on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn has a dead simple feature for this. Someone adds 2 people into one chat and introduces them, and then you message the person directly and start a real conversation.
I think the combo that cracks the first contact is a reference plus something genuinely unique for that person. A short video or a document made just for them.
That is true, but notice that belongs a step later. At the pure, warm intro stage, you need neither. You send nothing, no video, no deck.
Fair. Because a warm intro is literally a recommendation. When your friend introduces you to their friend, you do not immediately pitch.
You just connect, mention the shared interest, and break that cold barrier. I have made and received exactly these intros many times, and they work really well.
It is the most human version of all of this. No selling, you just got added and you both said hi.
Box 3 is the unscalable work. Show up in person. If there is any chance to get one-on-one, take it.
If it is a big client, you fly to them, you walk trade shows, you run micro dinners and small events.
It can be slow, awkward, sometimes humiliating. But the humiliation is only on the inside.
From the outside, nobody thinks anything of it. Nobody bites, nobody is going to hurt you, and the worst thing that can happen is a no.
And keep in mind, you are trying to help these people, even if they do not see it yet. You are not there to take something from them.
On trade shows specifically, my own experience is they are just excellent. The flow of leads is so rich, you can always pull some out and close them.
And do not assume B2C means no clients at a trade show. B2C just means selling to regular consumers rather than to a business.
If anything, it is the opposite signal. If your B2C customer is at a trade show, it means they are also solvent.
The B2B and B2C line is blurry anyway. Many of your users are themselves entrepreneurs running their own thing.
So you can talk to someone like they are B2C and close them like B2B. Or the other way around.
Box 4. Go where they already complain. Find the public place where your customers loudly voice their pain.
Reddit for the global market, Facebook groups, Discord, niche forums, Instagram groups, and channels.
And you show up as a real human, one conversation at a time. A focused half-hour session, replying to people, and actually helping in a chat.
The trick is to not advertise. If someone says my faucet is leaking, the natural thing is to ask what have you tried? Which services have you used?
No direct ad, and you still get your answer. The bonus is that answers on Reddit or public LinkedIn get indexed by Google forever, so one good reply keeps working.
At this stage, the goal is not even to close. It is to learn, to do customer development, and to give people a way to find you back.
Right. Your profile and contact details have to be there. Because if you hit the real pain and the real solution, the person often comes to you.
You just have to leave the door open for them to walk through.
Box 5. Only now do you go cold, and you reframe the ask. You build a small list, and you frame the message as not a pitch.
The Y Combinator best practice is to not open with "I analyzed your site and here is what I found." That is roughly a coin flip to be ignored.
Instead, when it is a real face and a real photo on social, you start the conversation authentically, not like a robot, not like a salesperson trying to slip someone a bill later.
You frame it as a request for advice or feedback. I want to launch a service for HR. I see you work in HR. Here is the short idea. Based on your experience, would this be useful?
And that triggers a powerful lever. People love being treated as the expert and the authority in their field.
Honestly, if someone messages me that way, I can instantly tell it apart from a pitch, and I will happily answer the real question.
Rules again, under 75 words, a clear call to action, and you ask first. You offer the free teardown only after they say yes.
So it becomes great. I actually built a quick prototype for your case. Want to see it? It feels like the natural next step in the conversation.
That is give first in action. Give the value, then ask. And the advisor gets something too, real project experience, instead of just reading a post.
Any experience from real life beats a post you scrolled past. So you are genuinely doing them a favor.
Box 6 ties the whole thing together. Do the unscalable thing yourself. Do not buy tools. Do not code. Do not invest in development when what is needed is very simple actions.
And doing it yourself creates a moat, a competitive advantage that is hard to copy because nobody can reproduce you as the founder.
No tool fakes your authentic style or the fact that you studied the problem and showed up to talk in person.
Which answers the question of who should close the first customers. The founder who knows the problem and the solution and came to talk.
The tools, Clay, sequences, AI, all start at customer 10 to 20. Up to 10, you talk to people yourself.
Automation gives you no advantage here because the goal is to sharpen the pitch through the first test sales.
And the moment you finally see a real "I bought land" in the dashboard, and you have done 10 or 20 customers, then you scale and plug in your favorite tools.
That is your non-competitive advantage, that nobody can do it quite the way you can.
We live in an AI world, so talking about first customers without mentioning AI would be foolish. Let me weave it in.
Let's do it. Eventually, this becomes the main module, but for now, it is one layer on top.
First, AI network search. There are tools. One is called Happenstance, a research agent that finds your potential customers across LinkedIn and Instagram.
So you query your entire extended network in plain language. Find people working on this problem at big companies in Germany and it surfaces them.
And it opens up warm intro paths and shared connections you would never reach by scrolling. They might be on page 500 of search.
Second, AI to monitor and summarize the communities. You ask something like Perplexity to find the exact forums and threads where your problem and its pain show up.
So you identify the complaint threads that are missing your personal reply, but never auto-reply. That is the trap.
Auto-replies mark you as AI slop, low-effort machine spam, and you end up shadow banned and blacklisted.
Third, AI for research and personalization. Clay can enrich your contacts by analyzing their social profiles.
You are not asking AI to write the whole message. You use it to surface hooks, recent posts, what they work on, so you can personalize
And still under 75 words. Then the test I love. Read it aloud. You take what the AI wrote and you read it out loud yourself.
And the second a line makes you cringe. The moment it feels like not you, that is your signal.
It is not a living person. Rewrite it or cut it. That is critical for authenticity.
If you really must build something, the ceiling is a very simple, warm intro generator with a check that the output matches your own style.
That is the maximum. Do not turn your communication into AI. Everyone publicly scolds AI written outreach while everyone quietly uses it.
And this is exactly where to stop. Only lightly polish text to lower your effort, not to automate the human contact away.
So the honest line is, your outreach tool is a commodity, something anyone can buy. Your willingness to write and talk in person is the advantage AI cannot fake.
For now, at least, the founder who shows up is the thing the machine cannot copy.
And there is one last trick for your own motivation. Starting the communication is hard because it forces you to change your state, almost your personality, to land a project.
Which loops back to what we said. If you were already the person without that stress, you would already have the project.
So you flip it. You hand the wheel to the AI as a director. You tell it, based on this marketing plan, tell me what to do next.
You remove your own agency and your own barriers, and you are left with simple, low deliberation actions.
Because at this first stage, up to about 20 customers, quantity of actions beats quality. Even a basic ChatGPT is enough to get you moving.
Use AI as a guide, not a tool that does it for you. Do not try to automate the work away. Let the AI automate you so that you actually do it.
The AI has no cringe, no childhood traumas, no internal breaks. It just knows the metric to hit and that you are the one with access to people. That's all for today. Your first 10 customers come from you showing up, not from a tool. Thanks for listening and see you in the next episode of Startup Talks.